Welcome to 12 News Plus. We're going to take next 15 minutes. We're going to dive into your forecasts across southeast Texas, see what we think is going to happen. Looking at clear skies up in Jasper. This view courtesy of Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. So tonight we could see some patchy fog. This is ahead of our Pacific cold front that comes in tomorrow morning. Don't expect anything significant. Could be a couple of sprinkles here and then with the front, but after that front comes through, the big headache is how much sun do we see tomorrow? If we see abundant cloud cover like what I think we're going to see up in the lakes area, you may not get out of the lower 60s. So a little bit cooler because of those clouds that may stick around across the area tomorrow. So I think we'll see a little bit of sun tomorrow in the triangle, maybe partly cloudy to partly sunny. But if we stay cloudy, then it's going to be colder than what I have. So just be aware that it could go either way as far as those clouds, but I think we'll go either partly cloudy to partly sunny in the triangle, maybe the mid to upper 60s. I don't think we're going to get in the 70s tomorrow. Otherwise, a quick cool snap of 2 days as we head on into Sunday, and by Monday into Tuesday, it's back to above normal temperatures and dry weather right on through Wednesday. Then there's a slight chance of 20% coverage of light rain coming up Thursday and into Friday. So here's the front. And see all this rain off towards our east. That's the first disturbance. We're going to be watching another disturbance come on in and push this front through our area as we work on into tomorrow morning. Look at the clouds. If we stay cloudy all day, it's going to be a chilly day tomorrow. So I'm going to go with cloudy to mostly cloudy skies in the lakes area. Again, we're going to be just on the edge here in the triangle. So maybe partly sunny, so may not get out of the mid-60s tomorrow here in the triangle. So it looks certainly cooler. So that's about normal for this time of year. Regardless, it's going to certainly feel a lot colder than what we saw today with a high of around 80 degrees. And again, can't rule out some patchy fog coming up tomorrow morning ahead of that front, so be aware of that. Otherwise, high temperatures around 80 degrees this afternoon. You're thinking, is that record territory? No, it's not. We've done this before. 1917, we got up to 86 degrees. So no, not close to a record. Tomorrow, again, the highs will greatly depend upon how much sun we see tomorrow. I think we're going to see lots of cloud cover up in the lakes area. This may be optimistic. We'll go with the lower 60s. Prepare for cooler weather. The triangle, it's going to be right on the edge. If we go mostly cloudy for most of the day, then this may be optimistic, so be aware of that. Otherwise, I'll go 68 begrudgingly here in the triangle tomorrow. Could see some wind gusts around 20 miles an hour behind that front. And again, I think we'll get into the upper 50s to near 60 in the morning. Modeling says 67, so again, it's going to be close as far as where that cloud line is. And up in the lakes area, I'm going to go 63. It'll be breezy, mid-50s there. And again, you can see lower 60s is what I expect coming up for tomorrow afternoon up in the lakes area, and I'm going to see a lot more gray than sun the way it looks. So again, 63 here in the triangle is what we normally see this time of year. We'll still be above normal tomorrow, provided we get some sun, but as you can see, we're still above normal. 68 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday. That's closer to normal, but still above normal. And then we're well back into the mid-70s. Again, don't be surprised if we hit some upper 70s maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. And that is a good, 14 degrees above normal as our spring pattern resumes. As far as rainfall, I don't expect anything significant over the next 5 days. May see a 20% coverage of light rain Thursday and Friday. And I have switched gears, and we're going to go with the GFS model because I think the Euro is just way out to lunch as far as bringing too much rainfall, too much of a good thing. A quarter of an inch or less through the next 7 days. I think it's going to be light stuff on Thursday and Friday. So taking a look at the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop, looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 60s with clear skies. Otherwise, across the state, got up to 90 degrees in Laredo today. Now back down to 83, so a little cooler up in towards the Red River Valley as that front is starting to move on southward. Still 70, well into the 70s and 80s, and through central Texas. Houston still at 78 degrees. So there's the front. Little, if any, weather is associated with it. I think it's going to be mainly a cloud maker. And this big system off into the eastern Pacific, see, there's California already winter storm warnings in the Sierras. But again, this low pressure system, a piece of it will head our way as we head towards, say, Thursday, bringing us a slight chance of showers. But again, most of the energy is going to go off well to the north of our area. And the lake effect snow machine still ongoing with lake effect snow warnings and winter storm warnings in through western New York, as you can see, but not as much as what we saw yesterday. In some areas picking up 2 to 3 feet, like up over towards Buffalo with this latest event. Otherwise, that front headed on our way, and it looks like it will arrive certainly before noontime. And again, this is fog. See that? So could see some fog, Mid-County, Port Arthur later tonight and tomorrow morning ahead of that front. Front comes through. Do we see any sprinkles? It's certainly possible, but it's just nothing significant. So I do think that we will see temperatures dropping into the mid to upper 50s in the morning. And there we go, sitting at noontime. Look at all the cloud cover up in the lakes area. That will greatly affect your high temperatures tomorrow. If we can scatter out those clouds, then it may be more optimistic. But still, at 3:30, you're only in the lower 60s up that way. Mid to upper 60s here in the triangle, again, provided we get at least some sun tomorrow. Going to be a tricky forecast. I don't really think we're going to see high temperatures in the 70s tomorrow. So you just took an elevator ride up into the sky. We're now at 18,000 feet. Remember, fronts are on the ground, and these troughs push fronts and develop fronts and bring them through our area. This is the disturbance that's bringing us our latest front. This is coming out of the Pacific. Just a couple of days ago, it was in the eastern Pacific. So it rode up and over the ridge of high pressure over the desert southwest and is now up into the lee side of the Rockies and headed on into our area as we work on into tomorrow morning. That will bring us a front tomorrow morning, followed by a northwest flow for a day or so. And then we get into a ridge pattern as we head on into, say, Sunday into Monday. See that? That ridge pattern? Look at the lines. This is a ridge of high pressure. This brings dry weather. This is a ridge right there. This is a symbol for a ridge. And you can see it's right over Texas in the Central Plains. That is going to bring great weather coming up Sunday and Monday. So if you're putting on a roof, painting a house, or just going to sit out by the pool, huddled in those 70s early next week, it looks like you'll certainly have weather to cooperate. Now, we were talking about this yesterday, how this is the European model in the upper levels. It has the best accuracy as far as the upper levels that we use to track storm systems and cold fronts and everything like that. That's why I use it most of the time. However, it does have some biases. Notably, these little short waves are deep. What do I mean by deep? See how this looks like that? A lot of the models are not as strong with this short wave. But this is what we're going to be watching as we head on into Thursday. Now watch, yesterday it was pretty strong coming through Texas. Not so much now. Did you see that? It weakens as it comes into Texas. So that's why I'm not going to go with high rain chances this far out. Certainly not much more than a 20, maybe 30% coverage. It looks like a light rain. Then we'll be watching this trough. Remember troughs? This is the line. This is a symbol for a trough of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Those troughs bring rain and disturbances into our area and cloud cover. So put this into motion. But look, southwesterly flow coming out of the Pacific. That's mild weather. And it also means we could see some higher level clouds as we work on into Thursday and Friday. Putting this into motion until that trough heads our way, it's going to be warm, humid, and very balmy across southeast Texas late next week. We think that this trough of low pressure will clear us maybe the 11th or 12th. That's when we think that this is going to be our best chance of rain, maybe even thunderstorms in the forecast. So Friday is the 9th, Saturday the 10th, 11th. So Monday a week, we might start to see some cooler weather moving on in. A lot of the ensembles are pointing towards not next week, but the following week, the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, towards mid-January will turn colder with lows in the 40s and highs, maybe around 60 to the lower 60s. So that's a pattern shift. So that's kind of what we're looking forward to as we head towards mid-January. So on the Gulf of Mexico tomorrow, looking at some patchy fog near shore with choppy seas around 2 to 4 feet. We'll see breezy westerly winds at 15 to 25 knots, shifting behind the front and decreasing out of the north at 10 knots. Water temperature 68. High tides tomorrow morning at Sabine Pass at 12:22 a.m. and 4:41 p.m. So our forecast tonight, patchy fog, chilly, and mostly clear. We'll go with the mid-50s lakes area and upper 50s, right around 60, maybe the lower 60s here in the triangle. Those breezy winds will continue to subside as we head towards later this evening. So then for tomorrow, it's all about the clouds. The clouds will dictate how high the temperatures go tomorrow. If we stay cloudy or mostly cloudy, like I think is going to happen up in the lakes area, you probably won't get out of the 60s. We're going to go with the clouds somewhere over inland southeast Texas, the edge of it, and in through the triangle. So mid, maybe upper 60s. But again, if we stay cloudy here in the triangle, it will be colder than what I have in this forecast. That's the way we're looking at it right now. Some northerly winds at times gusting to around 20 miles an hour are possible tomorrow afternoon. So taking a look at your weather impacts 7-day forecast, a quick cool snap this weekend, and cold mornings coming up Sunday and Monday with those lows in the 40s. Highs will be around 67 Sunday, but we'll begin the warming trend on Monday as cold high pressure builds on out of the area. Partly cloudy skies expected Monday and Tuesday as we climb back in to the mid-70s on Tuesday. No rain expected through Wednesday, and a slight chance of light rain possible as we work on into Thursday and Friday of next week, as most of the systems stay north of our area into North Texas, the southern plains, are even weakened. So looks like the drought will worsen, and it looks like at least we get something in the rain gauge, we think, as we head towards days 6 and 7 on the 7-day forecast. So that's your weather impact 7-day forecast. Again, the weekend looking pretty good. Again, we'll go partly sunny, mid to upper 60s triangle, could be only in the lower 60s in the lakes area with mostly cloudy skies there. Sunday will be the pick of the weekend because we think that we'll see more sun coming up on Sunday afternoon, but it'll be a cold start with temperatures in the low to mid 40s across southeast Texas. So here's the big weather maker, excuse me, as we head on into tomorrow morning. And not so much rain out of this, could be a few sprinkles, but we expect quite a bit of cloud cover over our area as we head on into tomorrow afternoon. The question is, where's the cloud line? If this is right, then we could get into the mid to upper 60s. But if we stay cloudy all day in the triangle, it'll be hard pressed to get into the mid 60s. Lakes area, lower 60s is what I'm expecting coming up tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, as we take a look at those high temperatures, excuse me a second. Take a look at the high temperatures tomorrow with mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. Again, it's going to be hard pressed to get out of the 60s tomorrow. Lower 60s up in the lakes area. And again, I'm going to be optimistic. Mid to upper 60s here in the triangle. Cloud cover is a hard variable to forecast. Otherwise, we'll go with the mid, maybe upper 60s tomorrow afternoon. So prepare for some chilly temperatures as we head on into Sunday and Monday mornings. We'll likely see those lows in the 40s, but we begin the warming trend as high pressure moves out on Monday. And again, we'll be well into the 70s coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Again, some areas could see upper 60s as far